Okay, let's start in a supported rock pose. So if you have my music, go ahead and start that at the beginning now. And we're gonna start sitting up on a block or blanket, however, whatever height you want. Finding the block in between your ankles. Coming to sit down comfortably on it. If this isn't calling to you tonight, take any other comfortable seated position. Allow your shoulder blades to roll down your spine, sitting up tall to the crown of your head. Hands can rest on your lap or by your sides. And start to gently turn your awareness to your breath. Not trying to change anything, just noticing the quality of your breath, if it's short or shallow or deep. And eventually on an exhale, allowing your eyes to close. We're going to be taking a 3-part breath for a few minutes. So when you're ready, taking a deep inhale through your nose, and then exhale through your mouth. We'll take an inhale through the nose, filling up your belly, and then lower ribs and upper ribs. Pause briefly at the top, and exhale from your upper ribs, your lower ribs, and your belly, hugging your navel to your spine at the bottom, sipping out all of the air. And taking that at your own pace, inhaling to fill belly, lower chest, upper chest. Brief pause at the top. And exhale from upper chest, lower chest, and belly. Continuing that at your own pace, taking it as fast or slow as you'd like. This breath is the most traditional breath in yoga. I want to invite you to use it throughout your practice tonight. Taking these deep diaphragmatic breaths. Using every exhale to relax a little bit more into different postures. We'll stay with this breath for a few more rounds. Maybe finding some extra space in your heart, opening your shoulders back. And eventually finding an end, allowing your eyes to flutter open. Take a moment of any conscious movement, starting to wake up the body. And when you're ready, find your hands clasped in front of you. Inhale, exhale to press your arms forward, rounding your back. Thinking cat pose here. Inhale, bring arms up overhead. Exhale to release your arms down, keeping your chest lifted and open. Arms. Inhale to release your head back down. Hands clasped. Exhale to press forward. Lengthening through your back, maybe shifting a little bit from side to side to stretch out one side and then the other. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, keeping a little bit of a back bend here, letting your arms come down by your ankles. Inhale back to center, arms coming through your heart center. Exhale to press away. Taking this a few more rounds at your own breath pace. Allowing the breath to carry you through the movements. See if you can luxuriate through every part of your spine, opening your chest a little bit further. Taking this one more time. When you get there, pausing with your hands at heart center. Take a moment to notice any heat generating between them. And when you're ready, release any props from under you. We're going to come into a supported child's pose. So setting up with a bolster or any blankets piled up on top of it. Laying in front of you along the length of your mat. Maybe draping a blanket over it as well. Find your knees wide to either side of the bolster. Hips sink back towards your heels as you come to fold over the bolster. Arms can stay out in front of you, or they can come by your sides for a duration of embryo pose. Allowing your eyes to close, your gaze to soften. Feel the support of the props under you. If this isn't feeling great on your knees, maybe adding a blanket under your knees, between your calves and your thighs to give a little extra space. Notice how the breath is different in this pose from a seated posture. If you feel any different sensations in back body or front body, and how you feel the breath expanding and contracting. Eventually coming to turn the other cheek to the bolster. your shoulders relax. We'll be here for a few more breaths. When you're ready, find weight into your hands and slowly walk yourself back up to a seat. Move any props out of the way. And we're going to come to find Baddha Konasana or bound angle pose. Some people call it butterfly. With your feet together and knees out. If this doesn't feel great to you, you can take any other comfortable seated posture. But I'd like to invite you to find a posture where both hips are even, avoiding postures like Sukhasana or easy pose with your legs crossed, because you're not going to be quite as evenly grounded into the earth in those postures. Go ahead and hug your heels as close to your hips as possible. And come to sit up tall, shifting forward onto your sit bones. On your inhale, sweeping right arm up overhead for a side body stretch. Left fingers can walk out, finding length in both sides of your body. When you feel weight shifting out of right sit bone, energetically driving it back into the mat. Maybe your gaze shifts up, opening your right rib cage, or if you're nurturing your neck, maybe gaze shifts down to the floor, or anywhere in between. Stay for one more inhale. Exhale to bring the hand back down, walking right fingertips out. Now inhale, left arm overhead. Again, reaching energetically through your fingertips. When you feel your weight shifting out of right hip, of left hip, energetically driving it back into the mat. Maybe spiraling open left side of your rib cage. Left pinky finger dialing down towards the floor actively. As we stay for one more inhale. And exhale to come up to seated. Walk your hands out in front of you. Fingertips start to crawl forward, finding the place where you're just about to arch your back. But you keep your back straight, pressing your chest forward. Feeling a gentle opening through the hips. Relaxing shoulders away from your ears. Stay for an inhale. And exhale to round your back, maybe finding elbows or forehead down to the mat. Maybe supporting yourself on 2 blocks or blankets. Let your head hang heavy. In this pose, it's a little bit too much on your knees, maybe finding blocks under your knees or shifting your feet out slightly. We'll be here for a few more breaths. When you're ready, putting weight back into your hands and slowly walking back up to seated. We're going to take a variation of a forward fold, more in towards goddess. So if you'd like to join me, finding somewhat of an incline in front of you. If you have it, taking 2 blocks, one on the tallest height, one on the medium height, and laying a bolster across them. If you don't have this, finding another pile of props that can support your body in this pose. Allow your feet to bend on either side of your mat, taking knees wide and up towards the ceiling. And finding your hips close towards the pile of props. And eventually releasing forward, over. You might need to take socks off for this one because it can be a little bit slippery. When you find yourself in the pose, how can you relax a little bit deeper? Maybe walking your feet out a little bit more to either side. Until you can feel your lower back release. Arms can hang loosely on either side of your bolster. When you're ready, switching the cheek that's down to the bolster. When you're ready, again, bringing weight back into your hands, slowly walking up to sit. Move all of your props out of the way for a moment. And we'll come back to sit. You took socks off, maybe you put them back on. And we'll come into a wide-legged pose, extending legs in either direction, only as much as feels comfortable. Energize through your feet, keeping your toes pointing up to the ceiling. And on your inhale, finding a nice tall spine here. When you're ready, walking your left fingers out again. Inhale, right arm up overhead. Again, finding a side body stretch. Nothing too deep here. When you feel weight coming out of your right hip, energetically driving it back down into the mat. Energizing through right fingertips. Feeling support in left side body, as if both sides of your body are lengthening. Staying for one more inhale. Exhale to release the hand down to your side. And we'll take the same thing to the other side, walking right fingertips out. And inhale, left arm up overhead. When you feel weight coming out of your left hip, driving it back into the ground. Opening through your rib cage, not collapsing your left shoulder down. You energize through left fingertips. Allow your shoulders to relax away from your ears. Stay for one more inhale. And exhale to come back to center, finding both hands in front of you. Again, walking hands in front of your body forward. Only to the point where you can keep your back straight. Chest dropping forward, knees shifting up. Maybe you're pressing your heels into the floor to activate the stretch. To go up tall through your spine. Staying for the inhale. Exhale to round your back. Maybe forehead comes to your hands or to a block or to the floor. Maybe elbows come down to the floor or blocks. Letting your head hang heavy. We'll stay here for a few more breaths. When you're ready, finding weight into your hands and walking back up to the center. Use your arms to pull your legs in front of you. Maybe shake them out a little bit. And when you're ready, we're going to set up that same incline that we did before, finding one block on medium height, one on tall, and laying your props over it. It may take a little bit of trial and error to get it to balance right. And when you're ready, finding your hips up against the bolster, we'll take a blanket, opening it its wide way, and then folding it so it's a little snake. Folding it in half and then in half again. And we'll place it on top of your feet and wrap it around the ankles, allowing your knees to fall open and finding support from the blanket as you slowly lower down onto your bolster. Let your shoulder blades slide under your back. Allow your eyes to close and tune back into your breath. Opening across your chest. When you're ready, use your arms to bring your knees back up to the sky, releasing the blanket from around your ankles and letting that go to the side. Find your knees facing the ceiling and take a moment to rock your knees from one side to the other. Eventually coming to release right knee to the right side of your mat. Left knee lines up with your right foot. As you find your hip close to your bolster in the same position. And allow your body to release over the props. Finding your right cheek to the bolster. With your shoulders relaxed completely. When you're ready, bring weight back into your hands. Slowly pressing up, swing your left leg around to face the bolster. And come to find one leg on either side of your bolster for a wide-legged forward fold. And if you'd like to bend knees here again, that's a great option. So coming into the pose and again allowing your body to melt over the bolster. Is there any way that you can release a little bit further into the pose? You should be supported to the point that you don't feel any intense sensation. You're ready, switch your cheek, laying down on the bolster. You're ready, bring weight back into your hands, slowly walking yourself back up to sit. And we'll come to set up for supported twist to the left side, finding your left knee bent, left hip close to the bolster, and releasing your right knee back behind your left foot. Turn towards the bolster so your shoulders are facing the air. And gently melt your body over the props. Can you relax your right hip down towards the earth? Relax your shoulders away from your ears. When you're ready, you'll bring weight back into your hands, slowly walking up to sit. Move any props out of the way. Finding the blanket that we had earlier in the long, skinny formation. And keeping that nearby, slowly roll down onto your back. Knees pointing up to the ceiling, and take a moment to windshield wiper your knees from one side to the other. When you're ready, find your blanket going across the mat and come to find it right under your shoulder blades. Finding the place that it feels good. And coming to release down into the mat. Maybe arms come out to a T or goalpost. Notice how your breath changes in this subtle back bend. Knees can stay pointing up to the ceiling. Maybe knocking your knees in towards each other, walking your feet out slightly towards the edges of your mat. When you're ready, gently lift your hips to move the blanket down into your lower back, finding a place that feels good there. And again, releasing your arms. Maybe noticing how the breath changes here. Allowing the blanket to support the natural curve in your spine. When you're ready, again, pressing weight into your feet, gently lifting your hips to find the blanket right under your hips. Maybe keeping knees bent or extending them long. Positioning the blanket in a way that feels good. Maybe just keeping knees bent for a sense of grounding. When you're ready, again, pressing your feet into the ground and leaving the blanket out from under you. Let your hips release down to the ground and take a moment to notice that effect on your body. And when you're ready, finding your bolster again, taking it under your knees to support them, staying low to the ground. You find Shavasana with your shoulders sliding down your back, palms face up. Taking one more breath in through your nose and out through your nose before allowing the breath to come back to its natural rhythm. And coming to settle into the space. Take a moment to bring your awareness to your physical body. Gently moving your awareness around your body, starting with the crown of your head, forehead, tip of the nose, chin, throat, chest, right shoulder, the whole right arm, chest, left shoulder, the whole left arm, chest, abdomen, pelvis, right hip, the whole right leg, left hip, the whole left leg, lower back, middle back, upper back, back of the neck, back of the head, crown of the head, the whole body relaxed, the whole body relaxed, the whole body relaxed. Eventually coming to notice the quality of your thoughts and what you perceive to be your emotional and energetic body without judgment or trying to fix anything. Just as observation and awareness. And eventually letting control completely of all of tension and focus. Hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul, instincts attune without the words, and never stops at all. When you're ready, start to deepen your breath. Allow subtle movement to return to the body, wiggling fingers and toes, circling wrists and ankles. Maybe taking a big morning stretch. When you're ready, come to roll onto your right side, using your right arm as a pillow. Take a moment on your side of gratitude to yourself for showing up on your mat tonight. To your body for carrying you through this practice. And for this practice and everything that it has to offer us on and off the mat. Eventually pressing into your left hand to come up to a comfortable seat. You can find your hands on your knees, or if you'd like to join me, bringing hands to Anjali Mudra and Heart Center prayer pose. I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is of love, of truth, of light, and of peace. When you are in that place in you and I am in that place in me, we are one. If you'd like to join me, bringing thumb knuckles to third eye center, we'll seal this practice with the blessing of Namaste. Namaste. Thank you for your practice.